Hello, everybody. This is Andrea Trout with your Sweet and Spicy podcast. And I'm here with my co-host via Zoom because it's a second episode we're recording while Carolina has COVID for the 8th time. Hi, Carolina.
Yay. Hi. Glad to be here, though.
You look pretty good for somebody with COVID. So we're going to work on that immune system. You're welcome. And we're here today with a special guest from Bella Reina Spa, which is Miss Nancy Reagan, the First Lady of Skincare, as I like to call her. I didn't come up with that. Who came up with that?
That was a chamber thing way back in the day.
Really?
They told me that I needed a 5-second commercial.
That's awesome. It's so brilliant. First Lady of Skincare. And that's your name.
That's my name.
That's your name that you were born with. And Nancy is with Bella Reina Spa. And this is... You've had Bella Reina for how many years?
15.
15. And you've been in Delray as an esthetician for how many years?
Going on almost 29.
Amazing. You can't be. Are you even that old? You were a child when you started.
That's what I was going to say.
You guys are funny.
No, seriously, though, you look great. So you are a diagnostic esthetician, a skincare expert. You founded Bella Reina. You had different spas in Delray before that. You have recently founded a new skincare line called Diva Labs. We're going to talk about that because I'm in love. And I think Carolina's too. She's coming around. We'll talk about that. But the thing that I found on this resume that I was like, oh, this is so interesting, that you have an MBA in marketing. I don't think I knew that.
There you have.
That's awesome. And then you have advanced studies in nutrition and medical aesthetics.
Yes.
So... tell us just a little bit more. I know you, and you also have a dog who I love. Her name's Henrietta.
Yes.
I love Henrietta because we're all dog lovers here. And tell us a little bit more just about being in Delray. You've been in Delray for 29 years, and you've moved your spa and had different names and stuff. So, how did you come to Bella Reina?
It's a story.
Okay.
We can start with I came out of esthetician school and really looked for a place to work and really couldn't find anything except a hair salon. And I didn't want to work in a hair salon. So I found this little place, and I had a landlord who we're still friends today, but he would either start his motorcycle or his cigarette boat in the garage while I was in the middle of a facial.
Oh my gosh. So awesome. Just what you want during a facial.
Forced me to find another place. And it ended up being on Atlantic Avenue. And at the time, there was the space that I was renting that cost the same as the motorcycle cigarette boat guy. It cost exactly the same. And I had 3 treatment rooms.
Wow. So this is late 90s, mid 90s?
This is mid 90s.
So what was the rent on Atlantic Avenue back then?
My first rent was $800.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That doesn't happen anymore. I don't think there's anywhere for $800.
And I had almost 15 or 2,000 square feet.
Wow. For $800?
Yes. It was really awesome. But it was underneath the building. Oh. And nobody ever went there. And we loved it because it was really quiet and nice. And it had a gorgeous courtyard. And we were the thing.
Was this near Veterans Park?
This was right near Veterans Park. And now it's been torn down.
I would say that building recently got demolished, didn't it?
Yes,
yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Merrill Lynch. And we had Merrill Lynch, and we had all of the shops in there. It was quite bustling at the time. And it was super lucky. And I had an incredible team.
Cool. And then you moved. I know you moved.
We moved then. I built the spa at what was then the Delray Beach Marriott.
Okay.
And that was...
Now the Opal.
Now the Opal. And that was a fabulous experience of building out a 10-room spa.
Wow. Huge. That's a big spa.
It was a big spa, and it was quite fun. And things didn't quite work according to plan, but as empowering women, we learn how to punt and move.
Yeah. Put your good big girl panties on
Yeah.
and move on.
And pivot is a big word.
Pivot from Friends.
I know. I think we're over 2020 pivoting.
Yeah, right.
So that's like, no more.
Right.
So then I started in 2009. I started Bella Reina, and it was meant to be super small. At the same time, I had a fishing lodge in Panama. And the goal was to retire to Panama. So the Bella Reina wasn't quite my focus. And although I was into skincare, it wasn't nearly as much as what has happened kind of in the last 7 to 8 years.
It's amazing. And so you've been there since 09.
Since 09.
At the George Bush location.
Yes.
So she's on George Bush for those Delray locals near, what's the church I just blanked?
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent's, thank you. On George Bush. If you know where George Bush is, it's right before the bridge. But your experience is extensive. I mean, I've known you for a while now, several years now, and just adore your knowledge about all things skincare. And, Caroline and I were talking because we're both in our 40s and late 40s. I just had a birthday. Carolina's is coming up.
Woohoo.
And it's funny. So Carolina, you told me the description earlier of what you were in the 80s and 90s. So save that because it's pretty funny.
So it's funny because I was telling Andrea I'm always very prepared for our episodes. And this one, I was not so prepared for because I'm going to be really honest with you. It's not something that I've ever been very passionate about because I haven't been good at it. And I don't know a whole lot about it. I was one of those girls growing up that was at the beach every weekend for, a total of 16 hours a weekend with tinfoil and baby oil and whatever else I could do to attract more sun. And I never thought about, the effects it was going to have on me later on in life, which I'm now realizing, and I do have some regrets. I wish I hadn't done the things that I did, but obviously you can't turn back time. So my main question would be, at our age, is there anything that you could do now to reverse some of those things that have come up? Sunspots, wrinkles, loose skin, anything like that? Or is it just too late?
First and foremost, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 85 years old or 90. It is never too late because you're constantly getting new cells in your body. And until you decide to hit the deep one, you are going to get new cells. Re-educating those cells and giving those cells new information is really what helps you look 5 to 10 years younger. And we didn't have the technology years ago that we have now to be able to change the skin with skincare, with skin treatments, so that you're not undergoing the knife.
And that's what you mean by new information is these new revolutionary skincare ingredients.
Correct.
Yes. And some of them, ironically, we do a Prime IV internally. We'll talk about that. But because what works on the inside works on the outside. Yeah. And it's really true because the skin is the largest organ in the body. It's just what we wear outside.
And Carolina, just for, just like in the talking and in discussion, you are blessed with skin that has a lot of lipids in it. I don't know exactly your heritage, but nationality has a lot to do with how well we age and how young we look. And with, like, if I'm British and Irish, and so my skin doesn't have a lot of lipids in it. And if you are Latino and your family is from around the equator area,
Venezuela.
Okay. So you're going to have more lipids in your skin because when the population was where they were supposed to be, the oil in your skin was, and the color of your skin was there for a purpose. It was to protect you from the harshness of the environment.
Right.
So
That is so interesting.
yeah.
And you didn't need sun protection in
You
England
didn't need it.
and
No.
Ireland back in the day because it was just gray all the time.
It was gray. It still is gray, and it still rains all the time.
That's why they're fair English
yeah.
maids.
So in Venezuela, you're blessed with this climate that is very closer to the equator, and you need oil and you need the melanin in your skin, and you're always going to have that. Even though, years ago somebody could have gone from a ship in the 1500s down to Venezuela, your body adapts to where you are in the environment.
So interesting. So kind of what that was kind of what we wanted to talk about is what can we do now? So what you're saying is it's never too late.
Never.
So, okay, so how we kind of want to do it, I have some true false things. So Carolina's going to guess, and then you're going to say, and I didn't prepare you for this, so I'm sorry. It's nothing you don't know, I promise. You're going to ace this. This is more going to be fun to see if Carolina knows, and I think she'll actually be fine at it. So we both agreed that the person that's like a celebrity that everybody knows who has like probably some of the best skin. Do you know who I'm going to say?
I pretty much know who you're going to say.
Who do you think we're going to say?
J-Lo.
100%. See?
Okay. Yes.
Because it's like she has some of the best skin.
Yes.
Is that true?
But she's been working on it
For her whole life, probably.
Well, for years. I mean, she and Madonna back in the day were using Casey machines from England for doing microcurrent lift LED.
For like 20, 30 years.
Yes, they've been doing this for a long
interesting.
time. So she's been taking care of her skin.
Yeah.
From what I know and watching, from an esthetician side for a long, long time.
Right.
I'm sure she has treatments all the time that are ongoing, as to take care and to really re-nourish that skin.
So the article one of the articles I read about it said she occasionally indulges. And I was like, yeah, right. Occasionally, like weekly, twice a week. I thought that was funny. Okay, Caroline, you ready? So retinol,
I'm ready.
Great for your face, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, Nancy, is it true? Is retinol great for your skin?
I'm
have a
going
different
according
answer.
to what the TV commercials are telling me.
Okay. I'll tell you what I believe and what is science and what they've discovered.
Yep.
Retinol is an old-fashioned ingredient. It's been around for a long time. It's an acid form of vitamin A that takes off layers of skin.
So it thins the skin.
It thins the skin. When I want to make somebody look younger, I need to make their skin look thicker. Thinner skin may look great. You may laser it off, and you're going to look great for
a minute,
for a 5-second minute. And then what's going to happen is it's going to go a couple of years. Are going to go by, and you go, "Oh my, I don't look so great anymore," because you've thinned that skin, and now it needs to be renourished again. There are
now, doesn't that happen naturally with age?
It depends on what you eat, what your environment's like, and your lifestyle. So how your skin, thicker skin also is, again, we're going back to nationality. So the thicker the skin was in countries that needed to have very thick skin to withstand the weather. You see the Russian skin, very thick because they have to withstand the cold. But the thicker the skin, they're always going to look younger. And when you start thinning it with retinol, it's an acidic form of vitamin A. There are fat-soluble forms of vitamin A that are much better for the skin. I can use it in 3 to 4 to 5 times more powerful than Retin A or retinol. And I can get better results because I can deliver more vitamin A.
That's interesting because I knew that it thinned the skin and I knew that you didn't want that. So I kind of had a feeling. I was like, Carolina's going to say yes. And the answer is no. I set you up for that one, Carolina. Sorry.
It's sold, it's a mass market sell, and people know what retinol is, and it's widely prescribed. even though it thins
Yes.
the skin, it makes you very sun sensitive. It has a lot of downsides, but it's a very acid form.
Well, I was just in Mexico, and you know how you can get stuff at their pharmacies without a prescription, and retinol is widely available at the prescription strengths. In the U.S., you have to get from a doctor, but there you can just buy it. And I was like, nope, not doing it because for that reason.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. You ready for this one, Carolina? Okay, this is an easy one. You're going to get this one. SPF, true or false? We know this one.
True.
True.
True. Is there an SPF over which it makes no sense? Like, because you can get these crazy high SPFs now. Is there a point where it just doesn't matter anymore?
Pretty much 30 is, you don't need to go over 30.
Oh, good.
So, and it's better to have a mineral block than it is to have a chemical block.
Mhm.
And on keeping on with that same topic is using something that is more in the oxide, titanium oxide, zinc oxide is going to give you a better block
Yeah.
than a screen.
Right.
So there's a difference between a sunblock and a sunscreen.
And so can those be put into a spray form?
They can, when you put them into that form, you're going to lose the efficacy of it when it actually hits the body.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to give the coverage that you're looking for, especially with the oxides.
So mostly with SPF and the oxides, you get kind of a white sheen. Yeah.
Most of them do. There's
Yeah.
a couple of brands that really are microionized.
Okay.
And so it'll give you the appearance that they are not so white.
Yeah.
But it's through how it's milled and not milled, but it's how it's manufactured.
Yeah. Because I have one at Prime IV and it definitely leaves that white sheen on, but it's mineral because I wanted healthy sun SPF because it also doesn't kill the reefs.
Right.
So that's very important to me. But it's
I have a quick question about that. The SPF number, could it also possibly depend on the type of skin that somebody has? And I ask this because for me, 30 is fine.
Mm-hmm.
For my daughter, who is white as a ghost, 30 does not do the trick. Only 100 does it for her.
Okay. So 30 is going to be fine for you because you have a higher melanin in your skin. You're still getting damage from the sun. And you're supposed to reapply that 30. So you're not seeing the sun effects or the damage from the sun effects that she's putting on the 100, and the 100's lasting the same time as you, but the more of the 100 is more of the chemical. So
Okay,
the 30,
gotcha.
the 30 is all those studies they've done. The 30 is the max that you really need, but it's all in the how many times you apply.
okay. So it's reapplying it that matters more than
Exactly.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
And shade, like especially for me on the face. I know we shouldn't be in the sun, but I love the sun. So I try to cover my face up, but it doesn't always happen. I know.
Well, you're in Mexico. So.
I know I was in Mexico. It was lovely. So somebody like that is a redhead, like just cover the face because she got really sick. You said she had like sun poisoning at one point, right, Carolina?
Yeah, she's extremely sensitive to the sun. She's a ginger. She's very, very pale skin. And now she's getting into I want to go to the beach every weekend with my friends. And she's actually had sun poisoning before with huge fluid-filled yellow blisters that she couldn't go to school for a week. It was pretty horrible. So I have to be very careful with her. So what do you recommend, if anything, for somebody her age besides the sunscreen? Like, is there anything that she can do on top of that? Andrea was telling me about a supplement she could take, or is there something to put on after she gets home from the beach? You know?
Well, just from a sunblock protection, I mean, her best bet is there's really not a pill that's going to all of a sudden make you okay to be in the sun, especially the lighter the skin you have. But if she's putting on like I mean, I'm a huge fan of Supergoop.
I love it.
They just have so many forms. It's so easy to use. They have a play form that doesn't get in your eyes, and it doesn't, if you're playing sports, it's not, you're going to perspire. And so it makes it easy for people to use it because they're very functional products. It's more expensive.
Can you say what that is again? I missed that.
Supergoop. Supergoop.
Supergoop?
Mm-hmm. Nancy sells it. It's great.
Yeah, we have it at the spa, but it's very, very widely sold. And part of the reason for their success is that the formulas are functional for athletics. They're functional for, like, if somebody's doing something that, you're playing golf, you have something that you can use. And in addition to using sunscreen, if you're using mineral makeup on top, the mineral makeup, even if it's in powder form, will have some type of sunscreen that'll go over the skin that will help in addition to keeping the sun off.
Awesome.
But the UV damage is really what's happening.
You're trying to block, So it's really good to know. And I love Supergoop. They have one that's tinted that I really like because sometimes you don't want to put on makeup, but you can put that on and you feel like you have a little bit of coverage. But it's light, but it's nice.
Glowy.
It's glowy. My favorite thing's glowy. Okay, one more thing from J-Lo's routine, and this is an interesting one, is she swears by olive oil as a moisturizer. True or false, Carolina?
True.
Well, it is true. What
she swears by it?
She swears by it. She has because she has a line. We're not going to talk about her line, but she has a product that has
So I'm going to say it's true.
olive oil in it.
That she swears by it.
Yeah, so J-Lo swears by it. We're asking Nancy what's real. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But J-Lo has a product that has olive oil in it with fermented olive oil in it. I'm like, I don't know about that, but it has olive leaf extract in it, which is really good.
Yes.
And squalene. I don't know about squalene.
Squalene is a wonderful hydrator. It is a moisture binder that is probably more responsible for if it's in that ingredient list, because I'm not sure exactly what's in the ingredient deck.
Yeah.
But it's more responsible for actually being the moisture that's giving the skin so much moisture than the olive oil.
Got it. The squalene is.
Correct.
Interesting. So olive oil is not the best moisturizer in terms of like actually getting into the cells.
Correct. You have to have a molecule that's going to be small enough or in a form that's deliverable enough to be absorbed into the skin.
So it's absorption.
It's absorption.
Same as vitamins in the body. That's so interesting.
Yes.
So what about coconut oil?
Same conversation.
Okay.
The other thing is coconut oil is a big cause of acne, and it's very much a comedogenic, or they call it. It's a very fancy word. Is comedogenic.
It clogs the pores.
Clogs the pores. And it doesn't do it for everybody, only for me. No.
Does it for you?
Yes.
I don't think it does for me because I've
it's
used it, but
it's just one of those ingredients that you think it's going to do what it's supposed to as far as moisturizing, but it just kind of like sits there and it absorbs dust. I don't know.
it stays oily on the skin. So it's like on top of the skin.
It's on top of the skin.
Okay.
Most of it.
Well, I want to jump to, because both Caroline and I have been doing your 14-day challenge. I'm past 14 days because I went to the full program. And Carolina, so tell a little bit about your experience, because you didn't start it at the same time I did. You were about a week or so after me. And you kind of were like, not as consistent maybe, but you told me some interesting things you noticed. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was pretty good about using it, but I did miss like a night or two here, a morning or so there.
I hope it was worth it.
It was, and I want to preface this by saying I have absolutely no idea what these products were supposed to do. I didn't read about it. I don't think you and I talked about it, so that might be a good thing. I will tell you what I noticed. I did notice, obviously, my face was definitely smoother. I definitely noticed a glow, obviously, and I really did.
Obviously, because you're glowing.
I also noticed a difference in my neck with like the loose skin. But the one thing that really, really, really surprised me, and I don't even know, Nancy, if you even know that it would have this effect. I have, and I don't know what you call it. I think there's a word for it, where like my skin shades are like different. Like this is one shade, and then all of a sudden this turns into a different color. And then I developed that at some point, and it always bothered me. And I started noticing after I was using your products that the shades were not there anymore. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, because the pigmentation. Some people
Correct.
call it melasma. Some people call it pigmentation. Did it get worse when you were pregnant? No,
That I don't remember.
but it for a lot of people, it's
Maybe
also,
it came on after I was pregnant because I didn't have it my whole life. It was just like one day, all of a sudden, I noticed it,
and
and I'm like, "What is that?"
and sometimes it also comes with it'll get darker with the sun and not, and it always depends on how deep the damage is on the skin as to how deep the pigmentation changes. But there's ingredients in the products that help to brighten the skin. I mean, it's an anti-aging, pro-glow, longevity skincare line.
Yeah, and it's in every single product. Basically, there's things to promote anti-aging and
Skin brightening.
and the glow. Like literally that was the thing I said to you. I'm like, my skin looks too oily. And you're like, I love the glow. And I was like, I got to go get some rice powder or something because I'm too glowy. If that's a problem for some people, it's a good problem to have. But that was my experience. Like, and I actually had a makeup that was making it worse, I think. And I stopped using so much of that because I think it was also partly the makeup. And since I've switched it up a little, that's been fine. So it may not have just been your stuff, but I just love my skin on this product.
Cool.
I love it.
So I wasn't imagining it, Nancy.
No.
And after and kind of like after research and after like we have this incredible biochemist and she's a genius, and it takes a lot of scientific research to know which ingredients are going to do what, and you can't have everything in there. You can have the things that you know that are really going to make a difference. And so we really tried to hit the top things that were most critical to most of us as we're aging.
To give the biggest impact.
And then also have it so it was oncology friendly and no color, no fragrance, and it was vegan.
Yeah.
And
Leaping Bunny certified.
Leaping Bunny certified.
So say what that means, because I don't think a lot of people know.
When you're Leaping Bunny certified, it means that it has been certified, because there's a lot of people that say they're clean. It's a clean beauty, and it's so much. It's a very popular marketing word. It takes a lot to get it actually certified for Leaping Bunny, but it is the cruelty-free certification that all the ingredients are cruelty-free, and that it is very, very, you could say, animal friendly, not produced with, animal testing, any of the things that would cause it to not be okay.
And no animal products vegan.
No.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people realize that in cosmetics and skincare, there's a lot of animal products.
A lot of animal products.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's not a problem.
Right.
It's like, but it's vegan, it's plant-based completely, and it is recyclable containers.
Nice.
Airless pumps.
Yeah.
It's like it was like my dream of everything in one. But the fact that the combination of the ingredients focuses on so much, Carolina, that it makes it so that people who are not used to using any skincare can go, oh my gosh, I see a difference in my skin.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted.
And people, that's why you developed the 14-day challenge, because people are seeing pretty significant results in 14 days. Yeah, I mean, I know I saw, and I have been what I thought using pretty clean ingredients, and I think they were decent. Like, I probably don't know as much as you, which is fine. But, like, and I still saw a significant change in my skin in 14 days, which is incredible.
It was the biochemist goes, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" I'm like, "Yes." I said, because I said, if you can't stand behind what you have and what you're selling, I'm like, so why are you doing it anyway?
Yeah.
So, and she goes, "Well, maybe you should say 21 days." And I'm like, so you give it an extra 7, but really what happens is if you've been using a terrible cleanser and all of a sudden, even now you're using this cleanser, you're going to see a difference in the skin because it's going to not be stripped of all the oils and everything. So it's kind of like, it doesn't take a whole lot.
Because that's what I was going to say. Most cleansers actually dry the skin out and people don't realize it. Because they're taking the oils that our body produces that's good for the skin out.
Correct.
Yeah, and this one doesn't. Right.
And there's a whole science that's very technical, but it's interesting about how our body holds moisture in and how our skincare line is allowing all the moisture to stay in the skin so that when you go to put on your serum, when you go to put on your cream, it actually stays in the skin instead of not absorbing.
Just on top.
I mean, a lot of times people will use a terrible cleanser. Oh, it doesn't matter what cleanser or toner I need. And then they're paying a lot of money for a serum or a cream. It's not doing anything because the cleanser and the toner they're using is taking all the moisture off.
So obviously this line that you've developed, it is best used all together, but can people use them individually?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you have a mask in there. It's got methylene blue in it, which is a lot of people out there are going to be like, what's methylene blue? Methylene blue is a cutting edge anti-aging molecule that a lot of people are using to stay younger right now. Like, it really is cutting edge. And the fact that it's, and you're going to start seeing it more and more. And the fact that it's in a skincare, like, there are a few skincare lines out there with it now, but they're, again, harder to find. They're little, they're on the forefront of skincare like Nancy's. So the fact that you have it in there, because we were having a conversation, you're like, I can't believe you know methylene blue. I'm like, of course I know methylene blue. I know all the hacking stuff, which this is kind of like in that area, but it's not. It's like legitimate science behind it.
There's legitimate science, and there's tons of, research and everything that's gone into it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of, in the biohacking world, debate of how much you should use and everything. So that makes a difference.
Nice.
So.
Any other?
So I have a question.
Go for it.
Before we
got to wrap up here.
So if somebody wants to continue using this on a regular basis, what do we need to do?
Well, we have larger sizes that are available on our website. And they're available on our website at BellaRainaSpa.com, or you can go to shop.BellaRainaSpa.com.
And you have them in the spa too. So they're in the spa and online.
Too.
Yep.
But we have
and you can buy them as a package or individually, or
you can buy, if you liked something just without another, you can buy it individually, or we're packaging all 5 of them together also.
Nice.
As a bundle.
Right, because I think I'm going through the toner faster than anything right now.
You like the toner because it has the hyaluronic in it?
I don't know. I just think I use more for some reason. I'm like, oh, it feels so good. I spray my face and my chest and my neck. I'm like, I like it.
Because it's a moisture binder.
It feels so good. Because that is one thing, like, real quick, I know, because a lot of people don't realize there's a difference between moisturizing and hydrating, right?
Correct.
And it's really about getting the hydration into the molecule in the skin, the cells, right? I know we're going to have to talk about this more next time.
Holding it in.
Yeah, and keeping it there, right? I mean, it's the same like of drinking water versus like having water that actually has the mineral salts in it to get the water into the cell.
Correct.
Like you can drink tap water, you're not hydrating. It's the same for the skin.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have a hard stop because Carolina has to run, but we're going to do this again with Nancy. So if you guys have questions about skincare, about Nancy's line, you can find her at BellaRainaSpa.com or Bella Reina.
BellaRainaSpa.com.
BellaRainaSpa.com. We'll put it in the show notes. And we probably are going to do a giveaway. I don't know when, of the 14-day challenge. We're going to do a giveaway on our Instagram. So make sure you go to Sweet and Spicy Podcast Instagram and follow us, because we're going to do that collaboration with Bella Reina around the time that this episode drops next week, which is March 5th. This episode is going to drop March 5th. So we're going to be doing that soon. And you'll follow Bella Reina's Instagram and our Instagram, and then you can be entered to win. It's super exciting.
Very fun.
Yes.
Nancy, we love you.
Love
Thank
you
for
too.
coming on.
I'm glad that you had such great success with the skincare. I hadn't even asked you about
I
it.
did.
It's very cool.
Absolutely. I loved it.
hearing
I mean, I don't know if you have a filter on, Carolina, but your skin looks amazing.
I do not have a filter on.
It looks
And
so
I have
good.
COVID. I have been in bed for 3 days, so I don't even know. I started getting ready like 3 hours ago. My daughter's like, you look like death. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start getting ready now at like 11 o'clock.
You look marvelous.
So-
Don't listen to her. She's
you.
13. I know.
Must be all those lipids.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've had people lately tell me my skin looks really good too. So I had sent a photo to my friend from law school. And she's like, your skin looks amazing. I'm like, it's Bella
Thank
Reina.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bella Reina.
I hope
And
you feel better.
yes. Me
Thank
too.
you.
Feel better. All right. Well, thanks, Nancy, for being here. You're going to be back in a few episodes to talk more about it. So if people have questions, they can DM us on Instagram or email us, which will be in the show notes. I think it's sweetandspicypodcast1@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned.